Andrew was in his mid-40s, a quiet man who spent his days behind a metal desk in a small accounting office. His hands moved mechanically across the calculator, numbers flowing from his fingers like water, except his own life was drying up. Every week brought a new bill, every month a new threat. The bank wanted payment, the landlord wanted rent, and the world wanted strength he no longer had. At home, his wife Maria watched him fade. He was thinner, his eyes dull, his voice always tired. She tried to support him, tried to ask what was wrong, but he only said, "Everything will be fine," even while everything was collapsing around them. One night, sitting alone in the office long after everyone had left, he stared at the company's financial records. Small transfers, tiny sums moving from account to account, amounts no one would notice, not immediately. Something inside him whispered that it could be temporary, a loan, a breath of air before drowning. His hand trembled as he took the first amount, $200, just for a week, he told himself. The next week, he took more. Numbers, once his friends, became his prison. Every stolen dollar was a new stone on his chest. He stopped sleeping. Every sound outside their apartment felt like police coming for him. Maria grew suspicious. Her husband's silence was louder than any confession. Eventually, the company auditor arrived unexpectedly. A woman with cold eyes and a thick folder spent hours in the manager's office. Andrew felt his blood turn to ice. When the manager called him in, 3 people were waiting. They laid out pages of transfers, signatures, unexplained withdrawals. He tried to speak, but his voice broke. There was nothing left to defend. The police arrived that afternoon. Andrew didn't lift his head when they put the cuffs on him. The office staff stared in disbelief. Someone whispered, "I trusted that man." And for Andrew, that hurt more than the steel around his wrists. The courtroom was silent as he stood behind the glass. His lawyer spoke of financial pressure, depression, desperation, but the prosecution had facts, dates, amounts.
I wasn't trying to steal, I just needed time. I thought I could fix it.
Maria sat in the back row, tears sliding down her face. She wasn't crying because of the theft, but because she no longer recognized the man she married. The judge delivered the verdict calmly, 2 years in prison and full repayment of the stolen money. Andrew felt something inside him die. Prison was loud, crowded, and endlessly cold. He was given a thin mattress, a metal bed, and a schedule he had no strength to argue with. Days blurred together, meals, chores, silence. He swept the corridors for a small wage, just enough to buy soap and cheap instant coffee. Some nights he cried quietly, face buried in his pillow so no one would hear. He waited for Maria. He waited weeks, then months, but she never came. No letter, no phone call. Not even his lawyer carried a message from her. The only envelope that arrived was from a law office. Divorce papers. He didn't scream, didn't shout. He simply read the words, folded the letter carefully, and placed it under his pillow. In that moment, prison was no longer the bars around him. Prison was the life he had destroyed. When he finally left, 2 years older and painfully thinner, no one was waiting. He returned to the building where he once lived, climbed the familiar steps, and stood in front of the old apartment. A stranger opened the door. Andrew just nodded and walked away. He sat on the sidewalk outside, holding a small paper bag containing the only things he owned. The city moved around him, cars, footsteps, laughter, but no one saw him. He had become invisible. There was no miracle, no sudden redemption, no lesson that fixed everything. There was only a man who tried to escape his problems and fell deeper than he ever imagined. Some mistakes cannot be repaired. Some losses do not fade. And some people fall so quietly that the world never notices. Andrew stood up eventually and walked into the night, not toward a new beginning, but simply because he had nowhere else left to sit.